Hello everyone and welcome to Tech with Robert, the Get Started with T-SQL course. In this lecture we're going to talk about how we can sort our query results with the order by clause. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give a thumbs up on the video if you like what I do. It really helps me to know what I do well and what you guys want me to improve on or focus more on in the future lectures. So without further ado, let's dive right into T-SQL. So we're going to start off by creating a new query here, and so up until this video here we have covered how how we can select different columns from a table and do some sort of filtering, and we've also taken a look at how we can work with strings, numeric values and dates, and that's very important concept to know. But the sort of next step now is to understand that when we write a query, let me just write a query right over here. We can say from effect internet sales here. We say that we want the customer key, the sales order number, the sales amount, and the freight amount, like this. So when we run a query like this, you see we get all the data here that we want to, but how do we know in what order the values are presented to us? We haven't specified here in what order, so how we sort of want to sort and order our data. So what we can do is we can use something called the order by clause, and the order by lets us choose which column that we want to sort the query results by. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to say, okay, but we want to select everything here, and we want to select the sales amount starting from the lowest value to the highest. We could say we want to order by sales amount. And watch what happens here. We see that this is 2.29 here is the lowest sales amount value in the data here. And notice that I didn't specify anything. I just said order by sales amount. So if I wanted to reverse this, sort of to get from the highest to the lowest, then I would need to write, let me just copy this query. I could write order by sales amount and then write desc for descending. If we run both these queries now, we see that in the first query here, we get, as we mentioned previously, we get the lowest value here and on the top, but in this query right down here, we do the reverse. So we get from the highest value to the lowest. But notice that we had to specify desc here. And so there are two values. There are desc and ask, and desc stands for descending and ask stands for ascending. But by default, if we just type order by like we did here, order by sales amount, and we don't specify anything, it's going to order it by in ascending order by default. So we could type order by sales amount ask here and it would give the same result. So if you don't specify anything, it will by default sort it from the lowest to the highest. But what if we want to sort it, and we want to sort it by multiple fields? So we could do that as well. And let's say that we wanted to say, okay, but we have ordered it by the sales amount from descending order, and we also want to order it by the freight amount descending order. So what that will do is it's going to sort everything. It's going to start by taking all of the rows here and sort it by the sales amount value from highest to lowest, and then it's going to sort from then it's going to use the freight column here and sort that from the highest to lowest. So you can use multiple columns here when you want to sort your query results. And so that is the first way how we can use the order by, is that we directly specify the actual field or column that we want to sort. We can also use a non-negative index way starting from 1. So we could also, let's say that we copy this query and we type order by, and we want to order it by the sales order number, which is the second column here. So we could type, we want to order by 2. What that means is we are ordering it by the second field that we are using here that we are typing here in our select list. So we could, for example, say that we want to order it by 2 and then comma 4. So that would mean that we would first sort everything based on sales order number, and then we would sort it on the freight here, because the fourth column here in the list. So we could say, for example, we want to order by 2 in a descending, or let's just say 3 in a descending order, just to see that we will get the exact same results of these two queries right over here. So we see here that now we get the exact same query results. So that is how you sort your query results using T-SQL, and that is a very important concept because it's going to save you a lot of time. Instead of having to scroll around and doing other types of queries, we can directly use the sort function to get the values in the order that we want to. So in the next lecture, we're going to talk about null values and what they are, why they are important to understand, and what pitfalls we avoid by understanding how to deal with them. Because null is a special kind of value, and we need to learn how they work to start with, and then how we can, because we have special functions for nulls to handle them, so we need to know how to deal with null values. So I will see you guys in the next lecture. Bye bye.